I got no secrets to be told here. I left them all on the floor. Lately that's where I've been sleeping. It's doing great things for my back and my soul now.
Paper Parlor delivers energetic rock and roll. Experiment with handcrafted guitar pedals made in Duluth.
I designed everything to be full frequency range, so no matter what instrument you want to play through it, it should sound good.
I think what it really does is it shows that you can use the theme of nature in any medium that you're using.
And Mother Earth gets her due in a curated art show. These stories and more music, this time on your playlist.
Funding for the playlist is provided by the citizens of Minnesota through the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Sound Central and T&E Concert Services are proud to support this music performance on the playlist and to light up concert venues across the country.
Paper Parlor builds on a foundation of folk and rock and adds all those other influences on top. Please give a warm welcome to Paper Parlor.
The song is called Silver Spoon. Well, I spent my summer going wild and green with a little bit of honey and some jasmine tea. And she said, your taste is sweet, but it ain't for me. And while I was sad to say, I know just what she means. 'Cause in life, some things ring true, like those flowers that only bloom till the summer is through. So I steeped my teeth in those jasmine leaves, smoked a cigarette made of evergreen, and now I'm sipping life from a silver spoon. I'm paddling milk and sugar from a big canoe, singing in life, some things ring true, like those flowers that only bloom until the summer's through.
Before I was doing this, I worked for a company in Superior called Crane Song, who does high-end pro audio gear for recording studios and stuff like that. I bought a boutique pedal, and it showed up and it didn't work. I was like, oh, lovely. So I brought it into work one morning before my shift and started figuring it out, and it took me all of 5 minutes to figure out why it didn't work. And I was like, if I'm gonna spend that kind of money, I can just start buying parts and maybe start designing something myself. I just kind of hunkered down in my basement and started messing around, and 3 or 4 months later I had a couple of pedals. My friend Andy tried them out, and next thing you know, I get talked into starting a company, and so I did.
Every guitar player has got a certain tone in their head that they're trying to find, whether it's all together for their whole tone, or for a certain song or project they're doing, or just because they've been listening to a certain thing. Like for me, it's always Neil Young. I listen to Neil Young and I gotta get that tone. What Sean's pedals do, what he forces you to do, he doesn't label the stuff. So he forces you to experiment and figure it out, and then you start realizing the wide span of tones that you can get out of his pedals. And they're all really organic, as in organic meaning they don't sound synthetic, they don't overly color your tone.
The Snow Job, which is my most popular pedal, I designed that as a distraction because I was working on my reverb pedal, the Ice Verb. I'm saying, okay, I'm going to design something simple, one transistor, just to take my mind off of something that is perplexing me. And I didn't think much of it, and I just kind of gave the prototype to a friend, and just like, you've got to build this pedal. Gave it to somebody else, and they're like, I need one of these. So it became a pedal.
Without the Snow Job, then you kick it in and
it's an underdrive, which is a term that a friend of mine, Philippe Herndon from Caroline Guitar Company, basically made up. One of the knobs messes with the frequency response before it hits an amplification stage in the pedal. He told me I should call it an underdrive, and I was like, I like that.
a reverb. It simulates like a spring reverb from an old Fender amp. It kind of gives you a shimming, like not so much of an echo, but like a spacious effect. Here's a clean signal again. And the more you play with it, the more it starts kind of shimmering. It's a really cool pedal.
All my production pedals have printed circuit boards, so they get built up on fancy little circuit boards. But before it gets to this stage, it gets built on this. So all of these little wires just become little copper traces across the circuit board. So, prototype will look like this. They're ugly inside. I have all the wires extra long so I can pull it out, and I've got an oscilloscope, and obviously I put power to the pedal. And that's just what the signal looks like, not going into the pedal. Just a nice clean sine wave. You turn it on, it adjusts the wave, what it looks like. Obviously you can change the frequency. This I typically test, I got it set, it's at 462 hertz now, which is basically A on a guitar. As much as they're designed for a guitar, and I'm a guitar player, I design everything to be full frequency range, so no matter what instrument you want to play through it, it should sound good.
For a lot of us guitar players, we kind of get addicted to having more and more pedals. They all sound unique, and they really get you to experiment with your tone. So,
I've got 3 new pedals in the works. I'm hoping to have at least one of them done for a trade show in Nashville this summer called the NAMM Show. It's time consuming, the development process. You can spend years, just getting something to the point where, okay, this is something I want to bring to market and sell to people.
We are at Lizard's Art Gallery in downtown Duluth with curator Penny Clark. Thank you for showing us around Mother Earth.
Well, thank you for coming.
Tell me about this show and how did you pick what was in it?
I decided to have women artists, and I solicited probably about 40, maybe 45. I can't remember how many people I asked. We ended up with about 35 women artists from around the area. I gave them small parameters. It needed to have an earth-conscious theme, and it needed to be no bigger than 14 inches framed.
So tell me about this collection in the middle here.
Well, this collection is Anita Curtis, who's an artist in the area, and most everybody knows Rosemary Tormenson with her bears. Very colorful. This one is the bear hugging the earth. This one is the bears dancing around the moon. I picked the owl because I just thought it was just a lovely, beautiful piece. But every piece has some kind of nature in it in some form.
You used the word whimsical when you were looking at some of these pieces down here.
Some people don't like to use the word whimsical for art, but you know, there's the seriousness part and then there's the fun part. And when you look at something like this or like this grouping right here, it's very whimsical. The beauty and the creativity in something like this is it's a little bit more whimsical than just a landscape scene per se. When you look at something like Allison Awney's piece here, Allison, as everybody knows, has always a lot going on in her piece. And if you look really, really close into the center, there's the North America. That is beautiful. This is a fabric piece, and it's looking down at the little bit of land that's left with all the buildings around it. I thought it was quite stunning. This piece over here is Nikki Johnson, and that's a piece of the sun.
It's beautiful. I mean, it is impactful.
And when you look at something like this, obviously you can see the whimsy. It's got the rubber duck in there with the real birds flying in. The last piece on the wall is Laura Stone. People always think that it's rather ironic that her name is Stone and she works in stone, but that she's always done mosaics of some kind, and that piece is quite intricate and heavy.
Wow. That is beautiful. I love how she did the edges.
The edges, that's what I thought too.
Wow.
And then over here we have, this was a gal that I found at the Art Institute show. She had done a chair. We have one of her chairs in the window. Well, what the challenge of this show is to get people to think small. Because people say, well, I don't work that small. Well, think about it and work small. And then the show actually evolved because my friend Pat Joyle, who I owned the gallery with many, many years ago, said she started doing birch paintings, very small birch paintings. I said, well, let me see some of them. Maybe we can have a show. This is Leah Yellowbird, who most people know is doing really big pieces. Her work is quite fascinating. This one is called I Lichen You. And of course, it's got lichen on it. And I think Betsy's piece we probably could have sold 6 times over.
When you step back from this, does it tell a cohesive story, or what?
I think it really
impacts?
does. I think what it really does is it shows that you can use the theme of nature in any medium that you're using. We're a town of parks. We're a town of rivers. We're a town with a big lake, and it's got to have an impact on you. A little more sunshine would help, but it'll come in his day. So,
Well, thanks for bringing sunshine into the gallery.
well, thank you for coming.
Said I never loved a girl before, she said it shows. I took that as my sign to go. I heard smoke her up, but I'd rather cure her lungs. Let's not talk about what happens each and every time we touch too much. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And now this dark home clear on my clothes, how I can't escape her glare, even with my eyes closed. I'm unprepared, I'm reserved, so wish I could see her, tell her I need her, about her contractual obligations, had to leave her, so my sweaters, my protection slips back and splits with those fake cigarettes. I would smoke her up, but I'd rather cure her lungs. Let's not talk about what happens each and every time we touch too much. Ooh, ooh,
Well, we're in the studio with Zach Shears of Paper Parlor. Welcome to the playlist.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for having me here.
So you are the newest member of the band.
Yeah, I've been playing with Paper Parlor for about a year. I started playing with them near the end of the school year last year, and then we were out of the country taking a little break over in the beginning of the summer, and then I've been a regular member since June of last year.
What an incredible amount of energy in this band. What's it like to be a part of it?
It is a wonderful thing to be a part of. Up on stage, it's a great connection with these 5 people are a great group. We're like a family, and I'm sure you can see that when we're dancing and grooving and having a lot of fun up there.
So you, as the newest member, have to give us the origin story of Paper Parlor as you know it. I understand it was teenagers who got together in International Falls.
Yeah, Kierden and Wilson, the front man and the bassist, started the band as kind of a folk duo kind of a thing, guitar and bass, just kind of doing their thing, finding their music that they were playing, and the band has really progressed since then. They added Mariah and then Chad, who I was good friends with through UMD and some of the music program here on campus, and then I got invited into the band about a year after he did, and we've been making music since then.
What do you add? I mean, you're the percussionist, but then there'll be more, right?
There will be more, yeah. I'm a lyricist as well, and we have a lot of material written for our upcoming album, but I'll be doing some of that on the upcoming work, and I like doing the percussion. You know, it's just the seasoning on top. You get to play only the fun parts.
With a little pizzazz.
Yeah, all the pizzazz.
That's awesome. So tell me where you're at in the songwriting and ready to launch this new album project.
We have a new record that we're going to work on. All the songs that we played tonight on this set are going to be on that release. Many of them were also on a new thing that we just released this past fall called Guac and Roll, which is a live EP that we made in just a couple of days. It was just a thing we put together to show what we're working on, and this is going to be the full-fledged rendition of that work. We're going to start working on it in just a couple weekends here at a studio in town in the Red Herring. Aaron Booth is putting together a new studio in the basement there, so we're going to be one of the first rock records that's recorded in that spot.
And how do you feel about the recording process? What's your preference? Live performance or recording, or a mix of both?
Live is always fun, and it was really fun on this last record that we did to record all of it live and not do any overdubbing, because then all the energy is right there. That's what's great about our sound, is that we have so much energy, and that we really like playing live, because that's the best way to show this. But this new record is going to be a little more dubbed, and we're going to do a lot more work on it. It's not quite going to sound like this, like you heard tonight, but it'll sound good.
Oh, it will sound good. I know it. So touring, do the album first and then get out? Or
yeah,
what's
we
your
have
story?
a little tour that we'll be doing in the beginning of June. We're going to go out west to Denver and then come up the Front Range and back through the Dakotas. But then when we finish our album and release it towards the end of the summer and fall, we're going to do some heavy touring supporting that as well.
You yourself have done some touring in different ways. What does that give a band when you actually have to pick it up and move to a different place and convince a whole new audience that, hey, we have something for you?
It can be difficult, but I think that when you have as engaging of a stage presence as we have, it's a little easier. When you get the crowd comfortable with what you're doing, you're not just singing to them, you're singing with them, and that's a good way to get new fans engaged, I think. Yeah.
So how do we learn more about Paper Parlor and find out about new releases coming out?
So Paper Parlor has a Facebook page that you can go to. Just search for us on Facebook. We also have a Bandcamp site where you can get all of our music that's been recorded to this date and pay what you want for that music. We're also available on Spotify and Pandora and Google Play and all those good places to stream music.
Okay. Does the new album have a name yet?
Yeah, it'll be titled Hey Frankie.
Hey Frankie, you heard it here. Very cool. Yeah. Zach, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Best wishes in your travels.
You as well.
The song's called Dirty Laundry. Probably speaks for itself. To be told you, I left them all on the floor. Lately that's where I've been sleeping. It's doing great things for my back and my soul now. Dirty laundry, maybe I would ever done in front of you, but I still got respectability in this interview. On the shelf where I keep my cameras, there's a picture that I keep of you. Reminds me of our bad ideas and the good ones too, the good ones too. My conscience could be dead. I said my mind can't be made. But my conscience could be dead. Thanks, guys.